Mr. Morgan.
Hello.
Yes, thanks for talking to us. It's Jacqueline Molcharek here at CTV Newsnet. So tell us, as Bob Fife was detailing, you yourself were a victim of some of this intimidation?
Yes, well, I was a candidate. Of course, first of all, I was in the House of Assembly for 18 years in a number of portfolios, including fisheries, and know an awful lot of progressive conservatives in Newfoundland, in this riding in particular, because I ran in this riding, and when Mr. Clark was Prime Minister, I ran against Brian Tobin. So there's an awful lot of conservatives that I know, progressive conservatives, in this federal riding of Mr. Manning's. And what I'm finding is, from talking to these people, they've been told to stay away from favouring Manning's campaign, don't go near his rallies, don't do anything to help him in any way or form, whether it's to gather funds for him in contributions or to just show support in helping in his campaign. And most of the local members in this federal riding, the local members in the House of Assembly, are all progressive conservative, Danny's boys, I call them, Danny's people. Mm-hmm. Danny Williams is the Premier. And Danny, apparently, as Premier, unfortunately, has gone to the point of even telling these members to have all the local district associations the same thing, stay away from Mr. Manning's campaign. And this is putting up a situation now with a lot of fears around. I'm here now at a rally with a Prime Minister scheduled to arrive any minute. And he's not here yet, but any minute with Mr. Manning. And I've been looking around and talking to people, and there's nobody here that I can recall that's prominent progressive conservatives. And the reason being, they've been told by Mr. Williams through the local members in the provincial ridings, they've been told to stay away, not go near Mr. Manning's campaign.
All right. Well, Mr. Morgan, it is a campaign. Many people would ask, well, what's wrong with that? So what's wrong with that? Let me ask you.
Well, the fact is that the progressive conservatives are not out actively campaigning for anyone right now, but they've been told to stay away from Mr. Manning, who is a former progressive conservative in Mr. Williams' caucus, and who had the courage to stand up against Mr. Williams a number of years ago on a matter of policy on fisheries. And because he stood up against Mr. Williams at that time, he was then removed from Mr. Williams' caucus. And I'm convinced, and many others are, that Mr. Williams has been vindictive, not only against Mr. Harper, but against Mr. Manning as a candidate, because he don't want him to go back to Ottawa. Because he's the only member that I know of over the years, since Mr. Williams came into power, has enough courage to stand up against Mr. Williams.
Well, so what do you say to these conservatives who are listening to, Mr. Williams for whatever reason and not attending these rallies or not supporting those conservative candidates? What do you say to those conservatives?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm hoping by talking to them, and I talked to quite a few, to get them to persuade them to support Mr. Manning. What else are they going to support? As a prominent progressive conservative that's been involved in campaigns for years, suddenly going to vote for some other party? The only other party showing colors in this district, this federal riding, is a Liberal candidate, fine young gentleman. I know him personally. But I don't see the prominent progressive conservative suddenly changing colors to vote for a Liberal candidate. So what are they going to do? Maybe Mr. Williams, in my own opinion, he wants them to stay home and not go out and vote.
So, Mr. Morgan, why has it gotten to this point if, what you're telling us is in fact true? I mean, we can't verify it immediately. I hear what you're saying. We certainly appreciate that. We know Danny Williams has said nothing of the sort is taking place. So, I mean, let me ask you, why has it gotten to such a great divide in this kind of level if, in fact, this is happening? Why has it gotten to this point?
Well, in my own opinion, it's a matter, again, of this. Our Premier being very vindictive, and unfortunately, what the names he's been calling the Prime Minister is a dangerous, dangerous man, calling the Prime Minister a fraud on the local televisions and shows here in the province, publicly stating these things. People are wondering, has he gone over the top? Has he gone too far? So I'm hoping people will realize he's done exactly that. He's gone too far, and I'm a long-time conservative, a progressive conservative. I'm still that. But I think Mr. Williams has gone too far as the Premier of the province. And I know he got lots of power. He got a big majority in the House of Assembly, but he should not be telling the local members what to do and who to vote for. And I think that's wrong.
Okay, we understand the point. Is there anything you can do about it, sir?
Well, hopefully by talking to as many prominent progressive conservatives in this federal riding, which I'm familiar with, after running there as a candidate a number of years ago, that we can get them to understand that Mr. Manning is going to be maybe in a very important position in Ottawa if Mr. Harper forms a majority government, the way the polls are showing now, and don't just vote against him, and more important, don't stay home. Get out and support him and put him back in Ottawa.
All right. Well, Jim Morgan, a former Fisheries Minister, joining us on the line and detailing some of what he believes has been going on in some of the ridings in and around Newfoundland. And we certainly appreciate your time on this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you now.